is 5 o'clock, and I will be calling the Public Works Committee to order. I'll start out with a roll call. Alder Bellinger. Here. Alder Peterson. Here. Alder Ramey. Here. Alder Russ. Present. And Alder Decker is here, so we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alrighty. We have quite a few people here, so I guess we'll do a quick introduction of just the staff. We don't have to have our staff and committee members. I'm Alderperson Dean Decker from District 6. I'm the chair of the committee.
Zach Russ, District 8.
I'm in my spot.
Zach Russ, District 8.
Okay.
Angela Ramey, District 5.
I'm Dan Peterson, District 3.
John Bellinger, District 2.
Should I just real quick?
Sure. Liz Majerus, Legal Department.
Okay. Kevin.
John, City Engineer. Josh Peterson, Public Works Director. Jim Kerwin, Joel Polsky, DPW Operations.
Okay. Okay, I think that's, Jordan too.
Jordan skipped the first one.
Okay, great. Alrighty, we'll go on to number 5, approval of minutes from February 25th, 2025. They are amended.
I move to approve the minutes.
Second. Motion made and seconded. Any other discussion on those minutes? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye. Those are approved. We will go right on to number 6. This is for a discussion only. It's about the dumpster days. Travis, are you going to, or is Joel going to take this?
I don't think they know what they're commenting on right now.
Maybe just go have a quick overview of what changes we are proposing to do. Maybe in that just. Hang on 1 second here. Let me get you out to the right.
You received the memorandum that we prepared. This new direction for the large item disposal days has come after quite a few discussions, a lot of effort into the logistics behind this, and with discussions with city administrator and our internal staff, we thought that going this new direction of how we're going to hold it, it's not what we're taking it away flat out. We're just going to have it reformatted. It's going to be more centralized. And one of the main reasons for this is we're going to open it up to all neighborhoods in the city. It's going to be more inclusive. In particular for a lot of those neighborhoods that may not have the capacity or the ability to become, as we consider, recognized. We want them to feel like they have the opportunity to remove their large items, and doing it at DPW, we're able to we believe provide a better service, and again it would be better controlled, open up to the entire city. Everything else you have in the memorandum, it kind of breaks down what the estimated fees, obviously, because that's a part of it, but the fees of what has been to date, what we estimate it to be. In fact, there's an increase in what we estimate initially, but as we open this up to the 1 day a month during the season for this, we anticipate that the volume of material is going to diminish over time or decrease over time because people are going to want to get it out right away. We don't anticipate having a full, 4 or 5 dumpsters needed every time. But we talk, that's presented in the memorandum. So, yeah, that's a summary. I mean, so questions or comments. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to just start out with a real quick comment. Everybody, a lot of you maybe know that I started out as a president of a neighborhood from the Indiana Corridor neighborhood. It was always a big thing for us. We actually started out before. I'm sorry. We actually started out, this wasn't even one of the things that we had at first. This kind of grew out of, after we have a couple of neighborhoods, then this is one of the things that became a popular item, was to have a dumpster day. And I know it was used as a carrot to get a lot of neighborhoods to grow and to add more neighborhoods to established neighborhoods to the city. It's been very successful. It's actually been a little too successful in some ways, because of the fact is that we now have 15 recognized neighborhoods, and which is great, which is what we want to continue. We want to continue having neighborhood associations. We want to continue to grow that. But the problem is this is the cost of having staff in each individual neighborhood is getting to be cost prohibitive. Also, there are some neighborhoods that will never establish as a neighborhood. There just aren't the people in those areas, and they're all taxpayers, and they all pay for the same service. And to hold us back against them, I think, is unfair. One of the things we've also talked about adding on to, this would not be a cost measure, because we're to the city. We have talked to Director Peterson about, it's not done yet, and this is not, but we also like to even look at possibly an electronics disposal, that people would pay a fee to cover the cost. This would be a cost neutral thing to the city. We don't want it to cost more than what it is, but we would like to have some kind of, because the idea is to keep our city clean. I don't want to see mattresses and tires and things like that down by the railroad tracks. I don't want to see TVs thrown over over the viaducts. That's the kind of thing that happens, and that's the kind of thing we want to try to prevent. So giving everyone an opportunity to be able to get rid of their items, I think, is a fair way to go. But I will open this up to discussion to the public. I first wanted to have discussion amongst any of the alders. If they want to have a speech first, we'll let them speak. Then I will open it up to the public. I would like to ask that you please be respectful, and we will limit comments to 3 minutes. Okay? Any alders?
Dean.
Alder Rust. Go ahead. Did I get you?
Turn me off.
Okay, sorry.
All right. I'm interested to hear what everybody is going to say. I personally am in part of one of those neighborhoods that will never have a neighborhood association. We've tried multiple times, and it's just too high of a renter density that people are coming and going, and it's hard to really get a quorum all the time. I know that I attend Farnsworth, and that was a big reason why they started, and they had a very successful first dumpster day last year, and I'm very interested to see what everybody thinks.
Thank you. Travis, could you get back up here? Could you just go over what the schedule would be so that everybody in the audience would understand how this would work out through the summer and in what's proposed? He's going to do it.
Sure. So we'd be looking at May through October, 6 times, once a month. Third Saturday of the month or something like that. It would be once a month through the summer, and it's just really is we want to see how this plays out. If the demand is super high, I mean, there's always the potential we could adjust it to more or less if it just, like I said, if it tapers off, maybe we're not seeing the need for it on the back end, but that would be the start of it. So it'd be 6 opportunities. And again, I do want to reiterate what Alder Decker said, is that another driving force behind this is that what I've heard is that there is dumpster days in the neighborhoods. There have been other adjoining neighborhoods that have wanted to try to bring their items there, and they've been told no. And so, we're trying to avoid this exclusion of our neighbors, of other residences throughout the city. So
the six times that you would have an opportunity, so instead of the neighborhood right now, so it's just one day that they would have. So if you happen to be on vacation that weekend or whatever, then you miss out. Yep. But this would be, so the entire city would have the opportunity 6 times throughout the year to take advantage of this opportunity. Absolutely. Okay.
Yep.
So I just wanted everybody in the public that was here and that are watching to be aware of that. So Thank you.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I had another question, Travis, really quick. Maybe you don't have the answer to this. Maybe somebody else up here does. But I know that we had said 15 neighborhood associations had taken advantage of this last year. But there are more neighborhood associations within the city. Is that correct?
There's almost 60, I believe, neighborhoods that are identified.
60 neighborhoods, but how many recognized neighborhood associations?
15.
There's only 15.
There's
I thought there was
15.
more than that.
The 15th was done like 3 weeks ago or so.
Okay, so that was number 15.
Yeah.
Okay. I will say that being present at some of the neighborhood associations over the past year, that the vast majority of them are not in favor of this. Obviously, I do have one neighborhood association that really doesn't seem to have much of an opinion on this and would probably be accepting of the proposed changes. I guess my understanding, though, with neighborhood associations is that this has always kind of been something that we've used to incentivize participation in neighborhood associations. It's kind of my understanding, kind of what brought people together in their neighborhood associations. And I guess, as a person that's elected by the citizens that are seemingly not in favor of this proposed change, it's going to be hard to vote in favor of that. If we did, it would be nice if we had some way to incentivize, the neighborhood associations going forward. If there's some other way that we could have a carrot for them to make them viable and healthy.
Well, we do offer them. There's the opportunity to have a neighborhood officer come and fry brats, and do things like that. That is one of the things that is available there. They actually come. They'll have a couple of officers come and they'll fry brats and stuff like that, and do that. So that is one. It's not the same. I'm not going to say it's the same thing, but in the past, but it is a little bit of a. I think it's good to have the neighborhood officers around and have neighbors gather. Period. Yes, this was a good thing, and I'm not saying that it wasn't, but it's gotten kind of to the point where it's getting more and more. I mean, at what point do we say, where's that tipping point? I think we're starting to get close to that. We're at that tipping point. Is basically where it is. Where it's not. I mean, it's quite a bit of staff. I mean, for each time we have a neighborhood cleanup, there's a staff member at the cleanup with the people. There's also a staff supervisor that goes around, kind of takes the truck around, things like that. I would say, I think it's because usually you do it when there's at least two other neighborhood or one other neighborhood doing it. So you've got you're talking about 3 or 4 staff probably by the time you're done with it. So now if you're having it down at the facility, you're talking. Only maybe possibly 2 staff,
Well, the advantage of having it at Public Works, too, is that we're able to utilize more dumpsters. Mm-hmm. We can have it's not a case of the dumpster's full, it's done. Because I've heard stories about dumpsters filling up in a matter of an hour or so, and it's done. And then what happens is all the stuff keeps getting brought in, and it's left around there. So inevitably, we're doing all this work to clean this up, whereas if we have it at DPW, we can the plan is to have more dumpsters, and it can be open for a longer period of time. And to your point, Order, this isn't the only incentive. My understanding is that, I know DPW, through park reservations facilities, we provide a free rental to the organized neighborhoods for their association meetings. I know the city provides other support in other ways. So I'd be concerned if this was the only reason why associations were an association, to be honest. But again, we don't want to exclude the disadvantaged, the other residents of our own city that may not have the ability to become recognized and have this opportunity as well. So.
Yeah, that makes great sense. I would just ask the public when they're talking tonight, if they were to assume that we were to go ahead with this new proposal, what would it be that the city could do or provide to the neighborhood associations to continue participation? And my understanding was that this was a big draw. So, thanks.
Okay. And I guess I'm going to open it up to the public. I'd ask that you please step to the mic and give your name and address. And like I said, we will limit it to 3 minutes. Marcus.
Good evening. My name is Marcus Savalio. I live at 520 Clifton Avenue. And I first want to say I really appreciate all the work that DPW puts into putting on dumpster days for us. And I understand the need to manage costs. If this is getting very expensive, then that is something that we should take a look at. But moving to a single location for the entire city really takes away from what makes this program so valuable in the first place. Dumpster days aren't just about getting rid of junk. They're about bringing people together. When you hold them in neighborhoods, residents connect, they help out each other, and they take pride in their community. That sense of connection is lost when everyone has to go to one location all the way across town. A better solution would be to have dumpster days once per 2 districts. This way, each part of the city, whether they have an active neighborhood association or not, would still get access to a convenient cleanup day. It keeps the program local and accessible while still managing the costs. This program works best when it's easy for people to participate, and let's make sure that we don't lose that. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcus. Anyone else like to? John.
Good evening. My name is John Dolson, and I'm the president of the Ellis neighborhood down close to the lake and the Y. And repeat exactly or agree with everything that Marcus stated, that we're very appreciative of what the city does. Our neighborhood and other neighborhoods where there's lots of rentals, we have a lot of homes with no driveways, garages, you park on the street. The benefit, there was a carrot put out there back when Jason Blasiola was the superintendent to help incentivize the neighborhoods to form. But what really was a positive impact in our neighborhood was the locale. We had, I'd say, 30 to 50% of the stuff that was being brought was being dragged there across the street. Mattresses, furnitures, whatever. So that's not a bad idea what Marcus mentioned, to move it around the city, because when you do have those heavy populated residential, the turnover with the transients, with apartments and whatnot, we've found that they don't have the vehicles, trailers to haul stuff. So that's one added benefit with ours. We have a small neighborhood, and the stuff was coming from 2-3 blocks away, literally dragged there. So thanks for your time.
Okay, thank you, John. Anyone else like to speak? Oh, go ahead. Sure, go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry.
I just have a quick question. Would it be possible to do this by ward? So like, let's say I'm District 8, so I would Ward 15 and 16, let's say, have the ability somewhere central located. Would that be an option?
So there would be 10? There's 10 districts.
Yes.
10 districts.
Yeah.
We need to...
I'm just trying to think of something in the middle here.
Yeah, the problem with us, if we go to 10 wards or more and more, we only have so much capacity because we're stuck in the middle of our winter, the plowing season, and then we also have a lot of festivals. Sheboygan has a lot of large special events, festivals through the course of the season, and we only have so much staff. And to be honest, if we want our staff not to get burnt out, we have to control this a little bit better. To be honest, when I first brought this up, I thought we could maybe divide the city into quadrants.
Sure.
But again, it was the capacity, what do we have, what else is going on? And it's a strain on the staff. And we just can't go out and hire new people. We can't, unfortunately, we're just stressing, we're trying to maintain this because it's not a requirement.
Right.
Mm-hmm. We're trying to do the best that we can with what we have to service more and make it inclusive for all the city of Sheboygan.
And I'm not attacking you. I'm just trying to find a compromise somewhere in the middle.
We looked at it,
right.
We've considered it, but right now this is,
right.
It's still technically at least for the recognized associations, it's 6 more times than what they normally had. So,
right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Go ahead, sir.
I'm Mark Goswitz from N Park neighborhood, and the Sheboygan Police Department partnered with Sheboygan Neighborhood Pride to develop neighborhood associations, and many of the 60 or so neighborhoods have regular meetings. A neighborhood association is simply a group of neighbors in a designated area of the city who have decided to work together to improve their neighborhood. Associations include homeowners, renters, landlords, representatives from businesses, faith-based groups, nonprofits, and schools. Members get together to discuss issues and identify solutions to address these concerns. To meet the challenge of transitioning more neighborhoods to association status, the Mayor's Neighborhood Leadership Cabinet was formed in July of 2014. And one of the perks of forming an association was a neighborhood dumpster day. Now, a couple of stories. Cleo submitted that one of the reasons for her to be involved in the N Park Association is that her husband Jerry's lived here for 60 of his 74 years. He can tell you who lived in just about all the homes in the N Park neighborhood. He talks about how safe it was. As kids, they were in and out of the neighbors' houses. Her personal belief is that the more people that we know as neighbors, the safer it will be. They've been in their current home for 36 years and love it here more and more as they get to know their neighbors. Dumpster Day is a main event of the year where we actually see so many neighbors and have a chance to talk to them. Believe it or not, junk is an icebreaker. It's important to keep Dumpster Day in the neighborhoods where we live. If we go to the city site, this community feeling will be lost. We at N Park have been working very hard to get this community rather than just a place to live, but a place where you want to live. We as a group have our monthly meetings. We deliver welcome bags to newcomers. We go door to door to put hangers on their doors so people know about Dumpster Day. A common denominator for all ages is getting rid of stuff. It does bring people together. Sarah submitted that she would like to keep Dumpster Day in her neighborhood, as Cleveland Park has never had a Dumpster Day. They just formed within the last year, and they would like to have a shot at having a Dumpster Day. Star submitted that her city or her neighborhood association loves it, and they want it to continue to grow. We believe neighborhood associations bring a sense of community to each of our neighborhoods. Getting to know your neighbor is a key to a healthy and safe community. One of our biggest events and a very useful event is Dumpster Day. This event is held in the spring and is well attended by their neighborhoods. They actually have 2 neighborhoods that partner together, which saves the city time and money. She believes the other neighbors are doing this as well and would be willing to do the same.
Excuse me?
Yes.
You're kind of at the 3, we said we limit it to 3 minutes, so I have to interrupt you on that. I'm sorry.
You don't want me, I just have about 3 things left to go. It won't take that long.
Well, we're trying to keep them where we said we're going to keep it into 3, so. Okay. I apologize, but we did agree we're going to keep it at 3 minutes, and it's just so that we can kind of keep the meeting moving along. Is someone else? It's so we can give everyone a chance to speak too. So,
Dean, what if we did every other year at the neighborhood association, but then the other years we have it at DPW? So it would be every other year in that association.
I still think that I guess it's true. Like it's
yeah. Because it seems like it's very important that these stay in the neighborhood. And if every other year, like, I hate using the term throw a dog a bone, but.
Yeah.
Again, it's
See, I want to staff
comes
this.
down to logistics, capability for our staff.
Sure.
And the time that we have available to do this.
Sure.
I mean, it can go from 15 to 30 neighborhood associations, and we're going to still be well.
Well, I understand that, but I don't think we're going to go 15 to 30 in the next 10 years, just from the dynamics of the city either. So I don't know if I necessarily buy that reasoning, but I'm just, once again, we have to come up with something in the middle for everybody.
Okay.
Hi, I'm
Go ahead.
Kathy Curry. I'm also from the N Park neighborhood. Just a couple of things I wanted to touch on. I know I hear, you want to be more inclusive. You don't want to exclude anyone from being able to have a dumpster day or get rid of their junk. But a point that I have with this is, in a way, by moving it to your central location at DPW, you really are excluding a huge part of the population that does not have any way to transport their junk down there. I mean, there's very few people that actually have a pickup truck or a trailer, and it's going to be a burden to try and get their things there. Whereas when they were in the neighborhoods, a lot of people could easily bring things a couple blocks or have a nearby neighbor help them with it, but that won't be happening. So in a sense, you are being exclusive to only those that have the ability to transport those things down there.
Okay, go ahead, Angie.
Could it be possible that we keep it at DPW, but in lieu of the dumpster days, we have like garbage recycling truck days, and they can be mobile in that neighborhood and people can bring things to the truck and then the truck bring it to DPW? Maybe I'm completely wrong with logistics and how that works, but.
And if I still have a few of my 3 minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't
No,
mean
that's
to cut
fine.
you off.
No, I was gathering my thoughts anyway. But, and again, this is kind of unfair to those neighborhoods that have really put a lot of work into this. And N Park is one of those neighborhoods. There's a lot of volunteers that come and help load all of that junk into the dumpsters and the trucks and so on. And, put in the footwork to deliver all those door hangers so that people are aware of the dumpster day. And that's just, they've put the work in for it and they'd like to keep that. So I guess that's pretty much where I was going with this. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak?
Could Travis answer Angela's question?
Sure.
I am interested in that.
Well, do you want to just, before you talk here, I'm going to just have Travis answer Angela's question that she had.
Yeah. Dean, he can always.
I'm going to have you go over there. Okay, where's I think that's that one. Is it? Is that the right one? I might got the wrong one. Or am I missing? There we go. There we go.
Truck days.
That's why I got Scott here, so.
Monster truck days.
Okay.
So one thing that has been discussed is the fact that we do realize that not everybody would have the capacity to haul even to the neighborhoods. They're not going to have it. So if we do centralize it, we have tossed out an idea of maybe we could have people through the DPW website or whatever, they can reach out, and if they don't have the capacity to get the materials there, we could maybe look at having a truck assist in picking up the information or getting it to DPW. I believe the police department may have had mentioned that some time ago too, in assisting in that matter. It's not, it's not that we haven't considered that. It's just, really, to be honest, we got to start somewhere. And it's like everything else, this has grown. It's been an incredible success. We want it to continue to be an incredible success. This is a way that will certainly allow that to happen. And if it means we take these requests, like say, hey, I've got this, I don't have the capacity to get there. I'm very open to that. The flip side to that is we have to confirm that it actually is a need, and not that just someone that just doesn't want to haul it anywhere. So, but yeah, many of these things have been discussed about. So,
I would say the best way this is in flux. It's we're looking at all different ideas of this, and we just wanted to bring this discussion to this group. This is we're not making any decisions here. This is the DPW is making their decision.
Right.
And we thought the best thing to do was just give everyone a chance to speak about this and have so we could hear about it. But this isn't like no vote will be taken today. This is nothing about. This is a discussion only item, and we just wanted to give everyone a chance to speak. It is a matter of the fact is that there is only so much staff. There gets to be a breaking point where they can only do so much. As much as we would like to be able to, would we love to be able to keep this going in all the neighborhoods? Absolutely. Can we? That's the question. It's getting to the point where it's getting difficult that we don't have the staff to be able to handle doing every neighborhood all the time, and that's why we're having this discussion. So, okay, everybody, could just let Mary quick have her.
Hi, I'm Mary Dotz from the N Park neighborhood. Just based on your comment that you just made in having staff pick up at the curb, where are you going to get that staff? Because you just said you have limited staff. So now are you going to drive trucks around the city to pick up garbage to bring down to DPW? And where does that liability fall if something happens? If neighbors are loading trucks and something happens, or somebody from DPW gets hurt, this staff issue seems to be one of the biggest issues, but you keep adding it. The neighborhood associations are a group of Sheboygan volunteers who work toward common goals, clean and safe, including the perception of safety in our neighborhoods. Volunteers cannot reach those goals without usable tools. The most valuable tool is the Dumpster Day event, which is the N Park neighborhood's key event. Sharing materials through our swap meet during Dumpster Days has created goodwill and camaraderie for the N Park neighborhood. Yes, it has developed into a social event. The proposals do not address our swap meet. We are not the only neighborhood that has a swap meet. I know Keeney Court does it also. This has not been addressed. And I've asked this question of several people, and I've never received an answer from the city. So I'm going to ask you, what's going to happen to our swap meet? And for those of you that don't know what it is, we tell our neighbors, before you come, if you have things that people can use, if it's usable, drop it off here, drive forward, put the rest in the junk. We have people clamoring to get free things on the curb. We have so much fun with that. That will not happen down at DPW. Again, just another little thought, if we did not have this swap meet, our tonnages would go up because it's all going to go in the landfill. It's not going to be recycled. And just as a personal note, I really find myself in kind of a conundrum because the board members of the neighborhoods meet and have discussion groups about things happening in our neighborhoods. So the last conversation that we had was all based on the October 16th memo that was sent out with the proposal for the new dumpster day. It wasn't until yesterday that I opened up my email and saw that all the proposal was now new. So a lot of the neighborhoods have not had the opportunity to discuss the differences between the discussion at the mayor's meeting on October 17th and this new proposal that we're addressing today. The The presentation on, an example is the presentation on October 17th specifically noted the cost of overtime was the reason dumpster day changes were necessary. However, in this new proposal, it says, while cost is not the primary factor, I find myself in a conundrum. Which way is it?
Okay. Mary, that's all. Time is up. Sorry. But anyways, I think because some of the neighborhoods did voice that, I think that's why some of the new proposals and new ideas, like I said, this has been in flux. We're thinking of different ideas, trying different ideas. DPW staff has been working on different ideas, and that's why some of the changes have come about. So, go ahead, sir.
My name is John Winter. I'm from the Veterans Park and James Madison area, which has been combined about a year ago. First of all, this event we thank you for this event, because this dumpster day is a really great program for the community as well as for the individual neighborhoods. Our event has been very successful, growing in tonnage over the years. But one of the people might mention that we do get people, and last year, for example, they would see the dumpster day and they could walk their stuff over, and we literally had furniture that was walked over to the event and put into the dumpster or the garbage truck that was there. So it is very handy to have that in the individual neighborhoods. It's also a gathering place, meet and greet. Give some background to me. I'm a retired police officer. I did community policing, and this is one of those key things that we see for neighborhoods, for a chance for neighborhoods to get together and meet one another. And this is a great way to solve issues within neighborhoods. So it's a great time to meet and greet other neighbors. During our dumpster day, we also have a bake sale. Gives us an opportunity to earn a little bit of money for our events. We clean up our site when it's done. We've never left a mess behind after our event is over. I think I understand, the logistics of this. This might be overwhelming the DPW or something like that. But I think at the same time, we have to weigh what we gain by having these neighborhoods getting together and meeting with one another. I think that's a huge bonus there. I don't see how we could have a bake sale if it's down at DPW. Perhaps, always looking for ways to compromise or find ways to make this work. Instead of having it all at DPW, perhaps we could do something where 2 or 3 times you could have it on the south side and 2 or 3 times have it on the north side or something along those lines. At least you're not getting down to the neighborhood, but at the same time, it's not centralized down at DPW, so it might still be a little user-friendly that way. Our meetings have been attended by a lot of different officials over the years. Alderman Decker's been to our meetings in the past as well, which we appreciate. And as a retired police officer, I've fried lots of brats for these as well. So, but these are tremendous events, and as far as community policing is concerned, talking from a retired point of view, these are wonderful events to have. So I don't think that should be overlooked. So thank you.
Thank you, John.
Dean.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, last idea, Travis. So we have 15 neighborhood associations. What if, and I understand that that's a lot in 1 year, what if we broke it up where every other year we do 8 and then 7 and go back and flip-flop that way, so it's under 10 a year? And then we just cut out the DPW part and everybody still has their dumpster day, and you're less than 10 still. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I guess one of the things I'm hearing a lot here is the bake sale at dumpster days seems to be a great gathering, way to get neighbors out and to meet and greet and get to know each other, which is awesome. It doesn't have to be around dumpster days about garbage. there's no limit to what neighborhood associations can organize. If you really want to organize it, it can be done on your own. It doesn't have to rely upon DPW doing this service. And I'm not saying that in any way. I'm just saying everything I'm hearing, and I'm from out of town, all right, so and I'm new in this. Everything I'm hearing is that the bake sales, the swap meets, everything is dependent upon dumpster days. I don't see why that should be the case. And active neighborhood associations, I would think, would want to be proactive and do more in their neighborhood and entice more people to come out and get to know each other, not necessarily about dumpster days. But to your point, it's logistics.
Well, no, I only bring it up because so you're proposing 10 at DPW. Six. Okay.
Yes.
All right. But I'm saying kind of meeting in the middle and going down to 8, but at 8 to 7, depending on the year, at their respective neighborhood.
I mean, when we looked at it, if we do it once a month, that puts us May to October.
Sure. Otherwise, would it be, if it's a manpower thing, could we incentivize workers by saying you can work Saturday, but we'll give you Monday off? I know that. I don't know if that's.
If I answer that, my deputy director of operations is going to have my head. I would love to say. I'd love to say yes. We'll do it.
Sure.
Some form of fashion, but. We look at everything else, and staffing is a big component, cost is a component. It's everything molds together,
right.
And what makes it best. And I mean, our staff need time off, right? And we're limited on the budget that we have, that council approved, right? So we have to adhere to the best that we can to be fiscally responsible for the taxpayers, our residents, adhere to our budget. It's not like we can just do this willy-nilly and we'll just add 3 more weekends without the approval. I mean, it's a long thought out process, and I can't tell you how much time we put into this. And, we will consider to take input.
Right.
I mean, we're not closed to suggestions, but everything that we've based upon now, I just truly think this is the best approach to go forward.
And I'm only bringing this up because I am one of those lucky, currently unlucky, but if we did go through with this memorandum, I would be one of those lucky people that would be able to utilize it because I also have a vehicle that I could get my large garbage to DPW. I know that the community is a very big part of neighborhood association, and that we have to try and build community whenever we can. And I know what you're saying with fiscal responsibility. We did pass that budget. We gave you a set number of dollars. So I see it both ways.
To your point of community development,
yeah.
What's to stop that happening centralized at DPW?
I'm not disagreeing with you.
I mean, I know the swap, the garbage swap or whatever it is, has been discussed about. It's not to say there couldn't be an area down at Public Works that we could do that. If they want to have a bake sale at Public Works, community involvement, do it down there. Offer it up to the neighborhoods that don't have this opportunity. I mean, I look bigger here and more inclusive is all I'm trying to say. So we're not saying, there's opportunity here to develop this and to make it even better for the city as a whole. I just can't see justifying the expenditure, the time, the effort for exclusion upon these neighborhoods that just really don't have the opportunity or capabilities.
Well, and that's why I say I would be one of the people that'd be lucky in that situation, because I would be included in that. Like currently, I attend almost every Farnsworth meeting, if not every Farnsworth meeting, but I can't bring stuff to Farnsworth when they do their dumpster day. So I see it both ways. I really do, because I would love to get rid of all my junk and stuff like that, but also I understand, because I was a part of it, the work and effort that Farnsworth did to make their neighborhood association. And I do remember that was a very big thing for them when they did, because I don't want to say I was harassed, but I was asked very often about how to go about that. And so I do see it both ways. And once again, I'm not attacking you. I see I see your side, and I can tell you're frustrated because you have spent a lot of time on this. And I mean, I truly applaud it. I'm just trying to find a happy medium.
And one thing about this approach is it would be a great opportunity for the recognized associations to continue to work with us, because my understanding, we have volunteers that sign up and they help out. But that could be a great example and a great opportunity for them to show and to reach out and to meet other neighborhood representatives. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're talking about, you want to bring the community together. Well, this would be to the next degree. I mean, there's an opportunity there. Mm-hmm. So, thank you.
Sure. Go ahead. I mean, I guess I look at this also as an opportunity for for neighborhoods to maybe they could sponsor a weekend of one of those 6 weekends where N Park neighborhood is sponsoring the weekend of June 5th or whatever. I mean, we're just looking at different ideas. I mean, we're just looking at different ideas, getting different thoughts because we've kind of reached this tipping point. Believe me, I'm very much for the dumpster days itself, but I also have to listen to what the director of Public Works is telling us, that it's becoming untenable as far as being able to afford it and be able to add it to other neighborhoods, add it to other people that maybe, like I said, will never possibly establish a neighborhood because they are, like I said, some of them are more rentals, things like that. They maybe won't be able to get one together. It is difficult, and in some of the neighborhoods, I'll be honest with you, you may not have the people that are in the neighborhood associations may not be able to handle the dumpster days as much also. So I'm just...
what would it take to do 6 a year in the community?
Can I have my turn?
Oh, sure. I'll let you talk to her. She's been standing waiting. We'll let her do hers.
I'm one of the volunteers for many years already for the N Park neighborhood dumpster days.
Okay.
You can hardly call it a dumpster day. There are some things that, yes, will be dumped and so on and so forth, but there are so many children that come in and they trade out their toys that they don't want anymore, and they leave with somebody else's that they enjoy so much. I would say on an average there's probably between 25 and 50 bicycles that come and go. So instead of getting rid of the whole thing, keep in mind who's participating.
Go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry. I've got some alders there. Just real quick question.
Again, I don't know if this has been discussed, and I definitely see both sides of this. One of the things that I was curious about is, has there been ever any thought to privatizing this? In other words, we have this letter that the director sent out to us that kind of goes over the cost, and if you divide it out, you can kind of figure out what it would cost to fund one dumpster day within one neighborhood. I mean, I don't even know what a dumpster costs, but if we were to go to Waste Management and have these dumped privately and take out the the staffing and labor costs on the city end, would there be any benefit in that?
No, actually the dumpsters are a private dumpster that does come in. It is a private dumpster that does, so the dumpsters themselves are actually a private dumpster. The staff, we actually have a garbage truck and then a city staff member that comes into there. So, John, I'm just going to let you quit coughing here.
Thank you, Chairman. I admire the passion from all these neighborhood associations and the community that this has built. What I struggle with is if we were to maintain the status quo, we would be excluding 60, 70% of the rest of the city that doesn't have a neighborhood association. And a lot of those areas are economically challenged and for various reasons, and probably in the greatest need of having access to get rid of garbage. So I don't know what the answer is, but maintaining the status quo and excluding the rest of the city, I don't think that's the answer. And I guess I'm struggling with Alderman Rust to find something kind of in between that would satisfy everybody and still maintain the sense of community and enjoyment. Obviously, you neighbors enjoy the dumpster day and getting together and the camaraderie that it builds and the friendships and the toys and everything else. And I mean, that's fantastic. And I don't want to lose that aspect of it either. But I guess I'm kind of trying to figure out how we can open it up to the entire city, yet maintain the sense of camaraderie that you have with this event. And I don't know what the answer is.
Okay, thanks, John. Go ahead.
I'm Sandra Chesnick, 503 Euclid Avenue. My husband and I moved here just 2 years ago from Iowa, from a different state. And I have to commend this town on all the good things you do for recycling, and in the fall, throwing your leaves to the street. We didn't have any of that. We can go down to the recycling center Monday through Saturday and get rid of branches and grass, all that stuff. We didn't have that. Every day we could go down there if we wanted to. You guys have it made. And to keep the city cleaner by having a place to dump your stuff 6 times a year just seems phenomenal to me. You can't, I think we only had one day a year where we'd line up 50 cars in a row, waiting your time to get up to a dumpster and then have it dumped. So being able to do something like that 6 times a year, instead of stockpiling it in your backyard or in your garage for an entire year, it just seems like a great idea, and thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Go ahead, Ed.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. Thank you to all my neighborhood associates who are here. I'm a former officer in the Franklin Park Neighborhood Association. We, like they're talking DPW burnout, yeah. We burnt out. We had same leaders for 5 to 6 years, and we just had to say, that's it. Somebody's got to step up. So we currently have no leadership officially, but I am a member of that organization. We too, like other neighborhoods, have merged. The Flats is listed in next door and Franklin Park. Having some issues getting the Flats and Franklin Park together in that next door app. So currently we have 2 people posting things to try to keep things going. But anyways, back just to the topic at hand, I would like to thank you for your past support with the dumpster days. There are other opportunities, that is correct. We've had parking lot picnics, or like picnic parties with kids at St. Peter Claver. We tried it, thank God it was during the week. We had some help from the DPW and the planning department to have a small, like a picnic over at Franklin Park. So we've tried other things too to get people involved. Dumpster Day by far is the biggest draw. I'm not gonna kid you on that. Basically what I'd like to do is just thank you for your support, thank those who have supported us, and also mention, because you mentioned electronics, one of the biggest things we've had requested is shredding. Mm-hmm. If you could put shredding into that list of things to work on for the future, it would be appreciated. I think that's an important thing. So other than that, talking about people walking up, I know you guys have a heck of a chore with what you're going to have to decide. I brought a couple of pictures. These you can keep. These are yours to keep. You can put that in your record. We actually had a father step up with his 2 children, and he had his couch on a dolly and the 2 kids riding, and up the road they came. Same year we had Weber cookers walk down the alley. We had a guy come back twice with office furniture. And we've had several residents with vehicles, but they made like several trips because the mattresses didn't fit or whatever and things like that. They brought their car back 2 times or 3 times. So it's going to be a hard decision. I just wanted to come up and thank you for what you've done, show you that, like they've said, it is absolutely true. People come walking up, and I thought I'd bring photographic proof.
Thank you, Ed.
Okay.
During the Indiana corridor, we've had the same thing. We've had people bring things up. I mean, it has happened, and excellent. And I struggle with this too. I'm looking at this on both ends of this. As a neighborhood leader, I know what people have gone through, but I also looking at it at the fiscal way of what we have to balance. There's got to be a balance somewhere in here. We're trying to come up with a balance, and I'm trying to work with that. So that's one of the reasons why I did offer this up, though, so people could have a conversation, that we could have this conversation, throwing different ideas out there. No idea is a bad idea. We at least get to hear it and give people a chance to voice it. And that was what the goal was here. At least so that our staff could hear what the ideas, so we can get different thoughts on this. That was the whole point of this. Like I said, I said all of the elders here, I think, we struggle with this too. We want to support the neighborhoods. We want to keep the neighborhoods going. I'm a huge supporter of neighborhood, and I've always wanted to do what we can, but we also have to keep in mind this, and also to be able to offer it up to the other residents of the city, I think would be a good thing. That I'm in favor of allowing other residents, because there are some neighborhoods that are not going to form. So, any other comments on this?
You have 2.
Oh, go ahead, Lisa.
Hi, I'm Lisa Salgado. I'm from the Ellis neighborhood. There's one idea that hasn't been mentioned. I'm from De Pere originally, and we have large item curbside collection. It's twice a year. They come around. You have to just get it to your curb. So if it's a mattress or couch or something big, they'll do a sweep twice a year, and then they might have a drop-off days just a couple other times a year if you can't make those 2 days. But it's efficient. You can check it out on their website, but it's being done by other communities, so it's another idea.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Brian?
Hi, my name is Brian. I don't live in a neighborhood that has this currently. I think the real struggle here that it sounds like city staff and alders are struggling with is, like, how do we most efficiently spend our tax dollars in this? It sounds like this is kind of ballooning in cost. I think what's getting discounted, though, is like all the benefits of this program currently is creating, like all of these neighborhood associations, people coming together. That can be hard to create an issue, to bring people together, create those communities. So, right now it looks like a high cost on a spreadsheet, I'm sure. I don't know all the details behind it, but I don't want people to discount like the benefits that this program is creating with getting people together. Sounds like the swap meet, so many creative ideas around the program that we currently have. I don't want it to be completely just, let's do this just for the raw efficiency of cutting costs as much as possible. I think it seems like this program currently is sort of like an investment almost in building communities too. So I don't really have any answers here, but I just feel like that might be getting a little bit lost in just how do we make the government tax dollar most efficient, that kind of thing. So thanks.
Okay, thanks, Brian. Appreciate it. Travis, quick.
So I just want to say one thing. This is absolutely not just about cost. We could have an incredible budget, but it's the availability of our staff. And we do not have the right to force our staff to do this and take away time from their family, in their neighborhoods, and doing things. I am doing the best based upon this and a lot of discussions, is we are balancing everything that this wonderful city has to offer and what is going on throughout the course of the season. And there's a limited time where this is a practical event to be held, and then there's a limited time when we practically can provide the service, and then there's a limited amount of availability of our staff to do this, because for every event that goes on over the course of the weekend, we have staff that come in. They clean up on the weekends. They're already working overtime. For our staff that are doing other things, projects and whatnot. I mean, we can't lose focus of the fact that these are people that live in the neighborhoods as well. And if we can look at that and look at this as an opportunity to this is not, written in stone right now. It's the direction we're going to go, but we are open, and this is why we wanted to do this. We want to hear the suggestions, the concerns, the comments. There are tweaks that can be made. I mean, I don't see a reason why in all logistical realm that we can't have the bake sale down there and offer it up to, you may sell a lot more than you've ever sold before to raise money for the association with other neighborhood people being there. I mean, there's